Christmas. Merry motherfucking Christmas. And have a fucked up New Year. You
What's up, you movie-loving little shits, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host, as always, Jay Schatzer. And guess what? It's time for part 2 of the Christmas Haul 2020. And let's just jump right into it, because just like the part 1, shit tons of stuff to show you. So let's just dive right in. First up is one of my favorite Italian directors, Lucio Fulci. If you haven't seen any of his films, definitely check them out. They are, well, you have to see them to believe it. But the movie that I picked up is oh shit, I just dropped it. Oh my god. Alright. The movie I just picked up is The Black Cat. And one of his lesser known films, but I really enjoy this one. Taking a lot of stuff from Edgar Allan Poe and kind of putting it in Fulci's own little twist. Gory, disturbing. Some pretty interesting concepts going on in the film, but yeah, really love this one. Arrow put this baby out and got a pretty decent price on it. Great. I mean, Arrow always does a lot of great jobs on the transfers. Last video had a bunch of arrows in it. I think this one has a few in there, but so much stuff to see. But yep, The Black Cat, really great. I'm not sure if I even own this one on DVD. I can't remember. I think this might have been one of the only ones of Fulci's that I never really upgraded or had on DVD transfer, but now it's up and on Blu-ray, and glad to put it into the collection. But let's keep moving forward. Never look back. Keep moving forward. All right. This one is a pretty cool anime from what it looks like. I've never actually seen it. Pretty much a stab in the dark because I don't know much about this one. But it is titled Demon City Shinjuku. And not really sure if this has anything to do with Wicked City, which I actually watched recently. And it's pretty much coming up in the pile down here. But, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Animation style looks badass. Love that kind of 80s, early 90s anime flick look. So, really looking forward to this one. And, yeah, I don't really have much to say about this. It's another one of those blind buys where I just kind of watched the trailer and said, you know what, that looks pretty badass. I'm going to pick it up for myself. But that is Demon City Shinjuku, or something like that. Something like that. But yeah, not much to say about that one because I have never seen it before. But a movie I have seen before, and actually doesn't have an official release. I had to pick this up on eBay, a bootleg release of it. But looks like it's pretty good. Haven't really had a chance to check out the transfer, but I know there's beautiful transfers of this film out there, so I'm assuming they used that one. The movie I'm talking about is the fantastic sequel to a horror 80s classic, Fright Night Part 2. And this is one of those films that I pretty much love the sequel as much as the original. They bring back the main cast of Roddy McDowall and the one young man who is, what is his name? Did they not even put it on here? It is William Ragsdale. I always forget his name, but he's damn awesome. I actually have another movie in here in the pile of movies that he starred in, but they come back reprising their roles. And it's pretty much, it's got the same spirit and kind of fun and flavor of the first film, but he's going to college this time. And it's just really fun. There's a whole bunch of cool creature effects. Everyone does an amazing job, and it really is a really great flick. And just as fun as the original. I don't know, I mean, I'm kind of like some of the chemistry between the characters in this one a lot better than the first one, but both solid films, and this really does deserve an actual official release. I don't know why they've never done it, and it's kind of a damn tragedy and shame that it hasn't been put out. But Fright Night Part 2, boom, add it to the collection. Very happy to have that and Fright Night 1 into the mix and back behind me. So, yay! Alright, let's keep moving on. Let's keep moving forward. I don't know, I'm acting really loopy today, so excuse me. I'm not drunk, I swear. I'm just drinking this fruit punch Gatorade. I don't know what it is. Well, let's keep moving forward. Next up is an anime classic that I've watched pretty much for the first time a couple days ago. And it's badass. It's actually badass, and I don't know why I've never checked this one out, because it's got like two of my favorite things, Japanese anime and kind of samurai, over-the-top, like 70s style gore kind of thing. It's just really, really awesome. It is Ninja Scroll, the anime film. And look at that. Woo, it's so shiny. But watched this one for the first time and absolutely loved it. Pretty much follows a like lone samurai dude who teams up with some ragtag people to kind of take down these demons that have taken over the prefecture. And it's just really over the top, really vibrant, kinetic style, super violent, and just beautifully drawn or animated and everything. It's just it's a really great flick, and you really got to check it out for yourself if you kind of love samurai and anime stuff. It's stupendous. But I kind of recently got back onto like my anime kind of kick. I don't know why, I've just kind of put it to the back burner. I haven't watched a lot of them in a few years, but really getting back into it and loving every minute of it. But that is Ninja Scroll. Great pickup. And let's move on to, another samurai kind of flick. Well, not kind of flick, it is a samurai flick. It's pretty much the quintessential samurai flick or series, and I'm going to be showing you, it's a really good collection, Lone Wolf and Cub Criterion Collection. I've been wanting to upgrade this one from my just standard DVD release of it, and I had the just kind of itch to watch Shogun Assassin, the kind of Americanized version of parts 1 and 2, I believe, that they kind of condensed into one thing. And the Wu-Tang Clan kind of uses a lot of samples from that Shogun Assassin. But I had the itch to watch it, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have this upgraded, so boom, here it is. It's a really amazing looking collection. It's got, how many films are in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 films in the series. And then they throw in Shogun Assassin in there too. So that's kind of, I love that one. I love all the films in their original form, but for some reason Shogun Assassin with the new music and American dub and all that stuff, it's just really, really badass. I don't know what it is, but yep, here's the inside of the collection. Got the discs, some nice kind of wraparound art back there. Just cool stuff. And I've always wanted to upgrade this, but never got around to it, and then I just kind of came to me and I said, you know what, pick it up. But it's got a little booklet here with some info on the movie and just different kind of descriptions of each flick in the series, and just a little insight. A lot of cool art. But definitely an amazing pickup. If you're a fan of the series and you're looking to upgrade, I mean, you can't go wrong with Criterion. They put up even a turd and they'll polish it into gold. So, boom. Criterion release of Lone Wolf and Cub. And if you're kind of a fan of the Mandalorian series, a lot of the concepts of kind of Baby Yoda as the baby, and then a lone samurai or gunslinger like Mandalorian's case, they kind of used a lot of the concepts from here. So if that kind of interests you, check it out. But let's keep moving on to something completely different but equally entertaining, and it is the sequel. I don't even know if it's the official sequel of this classic sci-fi horror film. It's a sequel to The Blob, and it's called Beware the Blob. And it's pretty much a lot more fun than the original sci-fi classic. This one came out in 1972, and it's very, very interesting. I don't really know how to describe it. It's definitely entertaining. It's got some pretty weird, zany characters. It almost has like a grindhouse feel to it in the beginning. It's very, very strange. I mean, the whole film's kind of crazy, and it kind of goes batshit crazy by the end. But definitely a fun one, and this is the Kino Lorber release. And they always do a hell of a job on their transfers. And yeah, I just wanted to pick this one up because I watched this maybe a year or two ago with a group of friends and really dug the film and just saw it was in their kind of winter sale. So I was like, you know what, I'm picking it up. Throw it in the collection. And that's just what I did. But let's keep moving. Because, oh man, these videos kill me because they're just so long. There's so much talking. and that's a bitch to render, but let's keep going. Boom, power through it. Next up is a sci-fi oddity that I watched for the first time this year called Dr. Cyclops. And it's strange. It's pretty much a mad scientist living out in the middle of nowhere. Some few kind of scientists and I think students, they head out there to go check this guy out, and he pretty much captures them there and shrinks them down to little tiny size and pretty much torments them, and they have to try to survive. It's just a really cool kind of well, it came out in 1940, so it's a 40s kind of sci-fi schlock, but very well done for the era, and fun and entertaining. Just really odd. It's a really odd flick, but definitely recommend it. Another Kino Lorber release. Boom. And yep, just a great little oddity to add to the collection. But let's keep it going. Another Arrow release. Told you there was going to be a bunch of these. This one is a sadistic little number. It's in those days when people loved making brutal kind of witch hunter kind of films. I want to say this is a UK kind of production. But yeah, the movie I'm talking about is Mark of the Devil. This one's pretty brutal. But actually very interesting, some really great characters, a compelling story. And I actually I reviewed this one years and years ago. It's on the channel, so if you're interested to see what it's all about, definitely check out the Mark of the Devil review. I really like this film, so I decided to pick it up. I do believe I had a really kind of crappy version of it on DVD, and wanted to pick it up on Blu-ray because they always Arrow always goes above and beyond with their transfers. So, yep, definitely have this in a really crisp looking transfer, and glad it's added to the collection. But I mean, just the gist of it is just pretty much kind of church people just burning the shit out of witches and kind of abusing their power and tormenting the village, and it's just kind of that's pretty much it. That's the movie in a nutshell. Pretty cool stuff. Definitely check it out if you like that kind of like time period and kind of like witch trials kind of era thing. But let's keep moving forward to a movie that I have not seen yet, starring an actor that I absolutely love. Well, two that I actually love. And it's one of those Italian crime drama kind of films. And the movie I'm talking about is Street Law. Street Law. Never seen this one, unbelievably. And I just figured I'd want to remedy that this year in 2021, give it a shot. Because it stars Franco Nero, who I absolutely love, and Barbara Bach. So, definitely looking forward to checking this one out. I don't even know who directed this bad boy. Enzo Castellari. I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell, but I know I've probably seen a bunch of his flicks. Sometimes the Italian directors, I kind of get them all mixed up because there's so many of them, and there's just so many oddball flicks that kind of hard to keep track of them all. But yep, Street Law. Been wanting to see this one for a while. Looks like Franco Nero just goes apeshit and shoots a bunch of people. So how can you go wrong? So let's keep moving to a classic collection that I kind of have parts 2 and 3, but the collection volume 1 went out of print before I was able to pick it up, and then they reissued it. And I jumped on the fact of adding this to the collection so I can complete volumes 1, 2, and 3. And it is the Vincent Price Collection Volume 1. I have Volume 2 and 3, and was really super happy to have this one back into the mix. The films it has is The Pit and the Pendulum, The Mask of the Red Death, The Haunted Palace, The Fall of the House of Usher, The Abominable Dr. Phibes, and Witchfinder General. And I actually own all these ones on DVD, but it's nice to have them all upgraded on Blu, so now I have the entire collection 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray, and I pretty much finalized my Vincent Price collection. So I think I have pretty much every single Vincent Price flick on Blu-ray, because I got the Fly collection probably a couple months ago, so I think I'm pretty set when it comes to Vincent Price. So next Halloween, I'll be watching the shit out of these guys. But let's keep moving. This is a very odd flick. It's I can't tell if it's just tongue-in-cheesy, B-grade kind of schlock. But I watched it again recently. It had been a while, and I really enjoyed it. It is terribly acted, but I am a sucker for H.P. Lovecraft kind of style stories. And the movie I'm talking about is Lurking Fear. Probably not a lot of people have seen this one, or haven't really even heard of it, but it actually has a pretty decent cast. I know it's got the chick from Hellraiser in it. I always forget her name, but she is like one of my favorites because she's hot. Ashley Lauren. And Jeffrey Combs, too. Jeffrey Combs is badass. He's always turning up. He's pretty much known for his Reanimator flicks. And yeah, this one is just kind of weirdly acted. That's the best I can say. Creature effects are kind of pretty cool. The story kind of starts off pretty decent, but it kind of goes off the rails. It's just really weird. But really glad I picked it up because it's one of those films that it's so odd that you really just got to check it out and enjoy it for what it is. But definitely cheesy. Definitely cheesy. And Full Moon features, Full Moon put it out, so cheesy. Pretty much cheesy. But let's keep moving. Oh my gosh, are we even halfway through? Another anime film that is extremely disturbing. Graphic, sexy. It is one that I haven't seen really ever until a couple days ago. I got an anime kick and checked out Wicked City. Now this is one I've been wanting to see a long time ago. Actually grabbed a pretty good transfer on YouTube long time ago and didn't really sit down and watch it, so I picked up the Blu-ray and sat down and watched it and really loved it. Really loved its brutal, hardcore nature, its tendency to constantly push the boundaries in good taste. It really gets some uncomfortable situations, but the whole concept is there's the human world, like light world, and then the dark world with these kind of weird creatures, and they kind of always have this unsung truce, but the truce is kind of lifting, and people are being attacked by these like dark side people, and they turn into like spider-like people. It's a lot of weird shit. That's all. I think it's one of the spider ladies up there. It's just weird as hell. So if you really like kind of weird Japanese sci-fi animated features, definitely pick up Wicked City. You won't be disappointed in the creep factor. Really weird, disturbing stuff. But that is Wicked City. And let's move on to an 80s slasher. Can't go wrong with those. This one's a really cool like a Friday the 13th style slasher. Centers around camp kids and counselors just kind of getting murdered one by one. And the movie I'm talking about is The Burning. Really good flick. I actually reviewed this one years ago, so check out the full video review for that. But it is, pretty much camp is being attacked by a crazy person who is just killing them off one by one, but he's actually a dude that was kind of like accidentally set aflame years earlier at the camp by like a prank. He was a groundskeeper and they accidentally burn him to death, but he didn't really die. He just ran into the woods to live, and he pretty much just kills all these campers that come back to the camp. Really crazy stuff. The interesting thing about this movie is Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, who plays George. He's a teenager in this, if you can believe it. He has hair, but it's just a really cool film. Some great effects. I want to say Tom Savini had a part of this, didn't he? I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking he did the effects on it, but I'm not sure. Yep, he did. Back here, Tom Savini did the special effects, so they're really professionally done, well done on this one, and just a really great flick. So definitely check this one out if you like that kind of 80s slasher. And Scream Factory put this one out, so badass. You know it's going to be good. Good transfer at least. And let's keep moving on to a lighthearted movie that I just revisited a couple days ago and was tickled pink, was laughing the whole time. I forgot how fun the movie is. It's actually a sequel, and the original is one of my absolute favorite like romantic 80s comedies. And the sequel is actually as good. I forgot that it was on par with the original. I really, really loved it, loved the characters. And, well, the movie is Mannequin 2. I can't believe I'm saying this. Mannequin 2 on the move. And I don't care if my cool points go all the way down to 0 after this. But I love this film. I had a blast with it. Well, it's got Christy Swanson as the mannequin. You might know her from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. And it's got William Ragsdale, who was in Fright Night Part 2 and 1. They're the two romantic leads. She's a mannequin, and he's just a regular dude who finds love. And then, who's that one? What is his name? Mashaj? Yeah, Mashaj Taylor as Hollywood. And if you remember, if you've ever seen any of these films, Hollywood's the flamboyant dude who likes to snap. He plays a smaller role in the first movie, but in the second one they really throw him into the mix, and he's got some amazing lines and one-liners. I love this film. Love this film, and I love the original, and I don't care who knows it. But I'm so happy to have this one in the collection, and I'm glad I revisited it because I remember watching it as a kid and loving it, but I didn't realize how great of a film it was. But that is Mannequin 2 on the move. You never know what's going to happen here at the Lucid Nightmare. But let's move it forward to some kind of normal flair we have on this channel. And it is an I hope I say her name right because she's awesome. Edwige Fenech. It could be wrong, but it is a giallo Italian flick. This sweet little baby came out in what year was this one? They're not going to tell me, are they? They're refusing to tell me. 1975. 1975 giallo. It is Strip Nude for Your Killer. A really great title for a sleazy Italian thriller. This is an Arrow release. So another great transfer is in store for me when I check this one out. I've owned this one on DVD. I pretty much own a shitload of giallo films all on DVD, and pretty much slowly just going through and upgrading them to Blu-ray throughout the years. So finally got to Strip Nude for Your Killer. I think I have pretty much all of her films except for I think there's one that just came out. Severin I think put it out. I can't remember what it is. I need to pick that one up. But yeah, I'm getting close to completing her film series. But great film. I'm not going to get too much into it. A lot of these giallos, or you just got to see it to believe it. Pretty much a lot of style, a lot of violence, and sexiness to spare. So definitely check out Strip Nude for Your Killer and enjoy the perversion. But thirsty. Getting close. I'm getting close to the end. Let's keep moving. Ah, yes, the shit. This one I've been meaning to get on Blu-ray. I'm not sure if I own this on DVD or not. But I've been meaning to pick up this copy for a long time. It's always been really pricey. Finally came down in a reasonable price, so I figured, let's go for it. It is the horror anthology, Tales from the Hood. Corny title. Corny title. Came out in the 90s. What year specifically? Came out in... Man, why is it so hard to find these? Oh, 95. So I was 15 when this baby came out. And I loved every minute of it. I used to watch it. We had like a cable box. You could get pay-per-view for free. And I was constantly watching Tales from the Hood. Loved it. It's got a nice little combination of kind of horror elements, but mixed with comedy and just a lot of social commentary in there too. So it's got a whole mix of everything. But really great. Great cast of people show up throughout this film. And some great stories. I can't remember how many stories. There might be 3 or 4. But great stuff. Really amazing. And I'm so glad to actually have this in the collection now. Of course, Scream Factory put this sweet baby out. And yep, I love it. So glad it's home. But let's keep moving forward to a badass sci-fi flick. Probably my absolute favorite sci-fi flick. It's one of those movies that I could watch over and over again, back to back, and never get sick of it. It's almost one of those perfect kind of cinematic experiences where it just entertains from beginning to end and has so much to offer. The movie I'm talking about is Total Recall. Yeah, I picked up the 4K release. It was dirt cheap. It was going for like $13. I'm like, come on. I already have it on Blu-ray, but I wanted to just get the best version I could get because I just love this movie. But Schwarzenegger at his finest, one of his best films. Verhoeven or Hoven, I don't know how you spell or how do you pronounce his name, Paul Verhoeven. One of his best films. Just great. Just a great fun movie with so many great one-liners. The cast is amazing. I don't know if I've mentioned this before talking about it, but like Sharon Stone's character in it is probably the best she's ever looked in any film. I just like it's almost perfection. It's really weird, but amazing film, amazing action, just concept. Love this film. Love it to death, and so glad it's in the collection. But most of the people have seen Total Recall or even know about it, so I'm not going to get into too much detail, but just pick it up. $13. How can you go wrong? But let's keep moving on to another sci-fi film, but this one's got a little touch of horror in it, and it is... when people say, like, oh, it's off the rails, this movie is truly off the rails. For the budget, it really goes into some wild territory that you would not expect. Makes it just a hell of a ride. But the movie I'm talking about is Life Force, and I've been really wanting to pick this one up because this is the only version out there that actually has the director's cut that has like extended scenes, and I don't think I've ever seen this, so I want to sit down and actually watch all the added scenes. But yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Tobe Hooper directed it. What year is this sweet little bastard? 1985. I was only 5 years old when it came out, so I wasn't appreciating it as a kid, but watching it as an adult or in college, I guess is when I first saw it, was just outstanding. What are the two? We got that Matilda May, who's pretty much nude throughout the whole movie. That's where a lot of guys are like, yeah, I love this movie, but it's really just a crazy concept about space vampires and just apocalyptic craziness going on. Steve Railsback plays like one of the main characters, and he's astounding in the film. He's pretty good in every role. He really throws himself into it, but Life Force, I know I say batshit crazy a lot, but I mean, come on, this is batshit crazy. This is the definition of batshit crazy. Really great film. Amazing that it's getting such a great transfer from, this is Scream Factory. Yeah. Life Force. Get it. Check it out. Oh, we got a lot of sci-fi in this mix. But it's all different kind of subgenres of sci-fi. This sci-fi is, I don't even know what you call it. It's just, I guess it's a subgenre of Star Wars ripoffs. Italian Star Wars ripoffs. But the movie I'm talking about and holding in my hands right now is Star Crash. And my goodness, what a crazy film. Pretty much the main attraction of this flick is Caroline Munro. And she's a knockout in this film. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And it is just insane. Absolutely insane. But yeah, Joe Spinell plays this evil warlord who's trying to take over the world like they always are. And Caroline plays, I can't remember what her character's name is. Stella Star. Stella Star. And she partners up with her partner, dude. I've seen him in stuff, but he plays character acting Marjo Gortner. He's a really strange looking perm dude. But these two guys are the leads, and they pretty much try to take down Joe Spinell's character. But it's really weird effects, cheesy kind of 70s effects. Even though I think it's like an 80s film, isn't it? What the hell? Yeah, but great film, great kind of sci-fi schlock, just absolutely fun. Roger Corman, so you can't go wrong with Roger Corman. Dude knows how to spread out a budget. Low budget, but it's actually just a lot of fun and entertaining. But really glad to have this. I had it on DVD, but upgraded it to Blu for the collection. Boom. All right. Now, this movie I have never seen before. It was actually a Monday movie night with a group of friends that we always do Monday movie nights. I missed that Monday and heard nothing but good things about this one. And the movie I'm talking about is Ninja 3, The Domination. I mean, I haven't seen it, but I know the gist of it is this lady is a aerobics instructor who gets possessed by a ninja. Yeah. Yeah. Ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. But, looks like a hell of a lot of fun. I think I've seen, like, the first entry of the series. I'm not sure about 2. But I know they're by title only. They have nothing to do with each other. They just kind of throw that ninja title out there. But been really looking forward to seeing this one. It's pretty much just 80s ninja ridiculousness. And that's right up my alley. But let's keep moving forward. Alright, this one is a sequel to a film that I pretty much watched this year, or last year, for the first time, and I'm just going to go right into it. It's Exterminator 2. The first Exterminator is a really, really fun film. I'm actually going to be doing a video review on it. It's in the works. But this one looks like it ups the ante in a lot of the crazy kills and vigilante-style kind of justice. And that's pretty much what the film is the first one, 2 guys come back from Vietnam trying to get back into society, and the one guy gets like mugged and beat up and put in a coma, and the other guy just kind of goes on a killing spree and just kills bad guys. And pretty much the sequel looks like the guy that was going on a killing spree goes on another killing spree and just kind of a vigilante rampage, and with a flamethrower. So, looks like it's a hell of a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the first one, especially for its New York kind of 80s style sleaze look. I mean, I love New York City in the 80s is just total trash, and I love it whenever it's on film. And I don't know where this could be set in New York City again. But, yep, New York City again. So hopefully I get that same kind of gritty look to it. But, yeah, looking forward to this one. Probably going to be watching that sometime this week or next. But let's keep moving forward. We are getting close. Slasher classic, 80s slasher classic in my hands. I pretty much got a lot of 80s slasher classics in this video and the last video, because I'm just really trying to like upgrade all my DVD versions. This one's My Bloody Valentine, and like Life Force, this is another release that's like an unrated, uncut version, so all the gore is intact. I've heard it's almost like a completely different movie with all that added stuff in there, so I'm really looking forward to it, because I love the cut version. I thought it was really cool, had tremendous atmosphere, even good kills, even if they were cut. Characters are pretty down to earth, genuine. The whole idea of people being murdered by a crazy killer on Valentine's Day, really original, really cool. And there's a whole, it's all set in a mining town, so a lot of the action's set inside the mine, so it's really a whole kind of different concept. But My Bloody Valentine's got the slip cover, and yep, put out by Scream, so really, really good pickup. I'm really glad it's in the collection, and looking forward to kind of seeing all this added gore. And I've reviewed this one on the channel, so if you want to look a little more on it, it's on the channel on video form, so check it out. Alright, time for a very odd John Carpenter film. Nobody really even realizes he directed this film, and I actually half forgot until I watched it recently last year with some friends, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this was actually directed by John Carpenter. Really great cast, just a really fun film. I always loved it as a kid growing up. It is Memoirs of an Invisible Man, and yes, John Carpenter directed this film. It stars Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah as the kind of 2 lead roles, and Chevy Chase is the Invisible Man. And the bad guy is actually Sam Neill of Jurassic Park fame, so he does an amazing job as kind of a ruthless government agent who's trying to hunt down Chevy Chase's character. But it's a really fun film. It's I don't even know what kind of category you would even put it in. It's not a horror movie, it's not a sci-fi movie per se, it's kind of like an adventure comedy. But yeah, and for the time, the special effects are amazing, so I've been wanting to get this one in the collection for a while, because it's one of the few John Carpenter films I never owned on even DVD, so got it on Blu-ray, and really glad to put it into the collection, because I've always had a soft spot for this flick. Really, really fun stuff. And Scream Factory put this one out. But let's keep moving. We can't stop. Next up is another 80s slasher. Told you I got a whole bunch of them. This one's one I've seen before, but I just don't have vivid memory of it. I watched it like 2 years ago, and I still don't remember what happened in the film. But it's a Jamie Lee Curtis starring film, and it is Prom Night. And for the life of me, I can't remember anything about the film, so I'm gonna have to revisit it and give it another shot. But I remember liking it, but I just don't remember specifics about it. It's really weird. I mean, it might be the price for watching so many damn movies, but really looking forward to watching this classic because, I mean, it really is a slasher, 80s slasher classic, but one I just can't recall. But it looks like it's got a lot of atmosphere. It's kind of thrown around Prom Night, you know, hence the title, duh. But yeah, I can't get enough of 80s slashers. Even the shitty ones I enjoy, so I always add into the collection. So that's Prom Night. Next. Alright, now this one was a blind buy, along with another one that's in this this pile. But yeah, I never knew anything about this, hadn't heard anything about the film, the director, nothing. And saw the trailer and I'm like, sold, pick it up. So picked it up, checked it out, actually really loved it. This one, Grave Robbers, I didn't even say the title, Grave Robbers. It's a Mexican horror film, an 80s Mexican horror film that, late 80s, like 89, and it's pretty much just like teenagers go to what is this one? This one was the graveyard one? I don't remember. There's so many weird elements of this one. It's like a slasher flick, but it's not. It's just weird. Really bloody, really cool. Characters cheesy. I mean, it's a foreign mimic of an 80s American slasher film. So, you know, there's a lot's lost in translation, but the whole overall atmosphere of this one's really, really cool. And I'm just going to grab the other kind of companion release that came out at the same time, and it's Cemetery of Terror. This one I actually liked a lot more. Cemetery of Terror centers around like a bunch of teenagers that go to this abandoned house and accidentally resurrect some pissed off zombie dude, and he pretty much goes on a killing spree. So it's a really good slasher, and then the very end there's a lot of zombies rising out of the grave, which has a lot of cool imagery. Yeah, it's just really neat. Both of these have like the same level of atmosphere to them. Really cool kind of shots throughout it. Super cheesy, but just a whole hell of a lot of fun. And this one actually came out in 85, so Cemetery of Terror came out in 1985, and Grave Robbers is 1989. But just two really fun Mexican horror films that I literally had no idea about until watching them and seeing the trailer. So really cool finds this year. Really glad that Vinegar Syndrome actually put this one out. So really cool stuff. I like when they throw out those like obscure movies that no one's even heard of and kind of put them and give them the kind of Blu-ray treatment. So good additions to the collection. But let's keep moving. We got maybe 6-7 more. Whew, it's right about this time I start like my throat starts killing me. But let's keep moving to an amazing werewolf film that actually came out in the early 2000s, I want to say. Yep, 2002. It is an actual a UK film, I think, right? It came out in the UK? I don't know. Directed by Neil Marshall. I think he's Scottish, though. I don't know. I just know it kicked a whole bunch of ass. It's Dog Soldiers. And, yeah, just a really fun werewolf movie that kind of came out of nowhere back then, and everyone just kind of loved it and slurped it up. But really great. It's just kind of like a military training kind of thing gone wrong. They go out in the woods to do some training, and then they run afoul of a group of werewolves and have to like hold up in a house and kind of fight to survive. And it's pretty much a siege movie, like a zombie movie, where the killers are trying to get into the house and get to them, and they have to kind of band together and fight them off. But Dog Soldiers is a really, really great film. I think it's actually like, I don't think it's like shot on digital or something. It's kind of like a digital shot film, but really cool. The special effects of the werewolves are really, really well done. It's one of the like kind of high points of the film. But really badass cast, and just a really fun action horror kind of film. and one of Neil Marshall's early flicks. Just really great, and Scream Factory put this little baby out, so good job on that. Looking forward to revisiting it, because it's really been a while. But let's keep moving. 2. This is an Umberto Lenzi giallo film, so it's an Italian giallo film. Came out in the 70s, I want to believe. Yep, 71. 1971. It's an Ideal Place to Kill, and I've never seen this one. I just watched the trailer recently and was like, you know what? I think I could get into this. But what's the cast in this baby? The one guy, Ray Lovelock, is in it, and he plays the boyfriend. There's 2 characters, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and just like a whole bunch of weird shit looks like it's happening to him. But I love him. I've always loved him in any film he appears in, so figured I'd just check this one out because it's got that cool 70s style, kind of sleazy, kind of perverted, really violent. And Mondo Macabro put it out, and they always put out really interesting oddities. So really looking forward to checking this one out. I'm a huge fan of Italian giallo films, and Umberto Lenzi is one of my favorites. He has a lot of really cool flicks out there. So looking forward to checking that one out for sure. Alright, let's keep going. Next up is a double feature. 2 UK horror flicks. First one is Tales from the Crypt, and second film in this double feature is Vault of Terror. I think the most famous of these films is Tales from the Crypt. You might have seen like a short story of a killer Santa, like a guy escapes from an insane asylum in a Santa suit and kind of terrorizes a lady on Christmas night. That's in Tales from the Crypt. Joan Collins, I think, is the one in it. Yep, Joan Collins. I mean, both these films have a huge cast. Peter Cushing, to just name a few of them. Really, really cool films. I've owned them on DVD, both of them, but figured I'd get the Blu-ray treatment on them since they were going for so cheap. And I just love these like Scream Factory double features. I always try to scoop them up if they're at a decent price. And British horror, I'm just in love with. I mean, most of the shelf over here, I think this whole shelf from end to end is British horror. And actually, the Hammer horror box set's way up at the top. You can't even see it, but love me some British horror, and glad to put both Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror in here into the mix, because just really great kind of atmospheric gothic tales. So boom, good stuff. But let's keep moving to another crazy film called Angel Heart. This one, if you've never seen it before, is fantastic. Really, really dramatic horror thriller with supernatural elements. Stupendous cast. You got Robert De Niro right there in dead center, but he's not really in the movie. He's really like an elusive character that you kind of learn more about him as the film goes on. But Mickey Rourke and Lisa Bonet pretty much take up the bigger chunk of the film. Especially Mickey Rourke. He's the main character. He's a detective kind of hunting down a guy who disappeared, but has a lot of occult elements in it. Voodoo is around every crevice of this film. It's just a really, really, I'm trying to think of stark, kind of just really gritty, set in reality kind of film, but with so many supernatural elements and just voodoo around every corner. Really, really great film. Everyone does an amazing performance. It's just a really great film. If you haven't seen it before and it's piquing your interest, just really stop and check it out. Not a lot of people seem to talk about it, even though the ones that do talk about it praise it, so definitely check out Angel Heart. Love the film. Glad to kind of upgrade it from my regular DVD edition. But let's keep going. Keep moving forward. Never stop. Ooh, alright. Next up is a John Carpenter film that is one of his later films, but I really, really love this one. I don't think a lot of people do, but I love the cast in this film, love the concept, love the execution. Just a really enjoyable, entertaining film, and the movie I'm talking about is John Carpenter's Vampires. I love this film, and I'm actually doing a review on this one. It is in the works, and I just love it. James Woods is the main character, the main vampire hunter in this film, and he's just a total badass, doesn't take shit, and it's just cool. He's a cool customer. But yeah, the rest of the cast is amazing, but I mean, he's the main focal point. Pretty much a team of vampire hunters trying to hunt down one of the most ancient and powerful vampires who wants to kind of do this ritual that makes him be able to walk in the sunlight. So they're pretty much trying to stop him at every turn. And just a really cool concept. The whole movie's really cool. I love this one. Scream Factory release. I have a lot of Scream Factories in this video. But I've been picking up a lot of them because they've just been catching my eye. And I've said, enough's enough. I want to own it. But Vampires, boom. Love this film. And love this edition too. Watched it. Looks beautiful. So if you're a fan of Vampires, definitely pick up this edition. And yeah. Vampires. Who would have thought? Oh, sci-fi time. Now this one's a very odd and obscure sci-fi movie from the 60s, I want to say. Or I could be way off. It could be 70s. Where's the year on this, sweet baby? Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Shit. I don't know. I think it's the 70s. But the movie I'm talking about is Journey to the Far Side of the Sun. And it's one of those kind of high concept kind of sci-fi flicks where two astronauts, well, they see that there is another planet the same size as ours on the other side of the sun. So they make a mission. They go all the way over there, but crash, and they think they crash back on Earth because when they land, it's almost the exact same Earth, but it's like opposites. Everything's different, like complete opposite on this planet on the other side. They have the same people as they do on this Earth, but they're different somehow, like doppelgangers, I guess. And yeah, it's just a really weird concept, and it's really executed quite well. The cast does a great job, and it's just a really cool kind of Twilight Zone episode kind of feature film. So I've always loved it, and I've always wanted to pick it up. I've owned it on DVD for years and years and years, and finally just upgraded to the blue because it's a fun film. Fun film. Oh, next up is, okay, looks like we got two slashers to round out this video. This one is kind of a corny, silly 80s slasher, but I just like making my duty to own every single 80s slasher. And the movie is Final Exam. And it's goofy. I believe this is a Canadian 80s slasher film. So it's got that off-kilter. They're trying to make it look like it's in America, but you can tell something's Canadian about it. But it came out in 1981. It's cool. It's not too gory. The characters are interesting enough, very entertaining. Some really off the wall. You got your nerdy characters, your jock characters, and there's this one scene in it of like this. They're like reenacting as a prank a school shooting, and it's like, it's so like out of touch with what happened in modern times with school shootings. It's really just like shocks you at first. But Final Exam, really really cool 80s slasher film. Very, very underrated and obscure, kind of just lost in that whole 80s slasher craze. But fun film, and I'm glad to add it into the collection. And last but not least is another 80s slasher film. It's kind of I guess you could call it like a mixture between Friday the 13th and Deliverance. It is The Final Terror. And it's pretty much following a bunch of teens camping, and they're terrorized by what you think is like a creature, but it's weird. It's somebody terrorizing them and killing them off one by one. It's pretty much all you need to know before watching it. It's got a pretty decent cast of people. Daryl Hannah is actually in this one as a young teen, but really cool stuff. I know the atmosphere is really cool in it because it's just the woods, and some of the shots they're able to get are really surreal. It really feels like another world. But damn fine pickup, and this is a Scream Factory, another Scream Factory. Just a really great to have another 80s slasher into the mix. But yeah, I can't talk anymore because my throat is raw. But that's it, everybody. That was part 1 before. This is part 2. You got the whole Christmas 2020 haul in the books for this year. A shitty year for living, but a great year for movies, at least for me. But yeah. That's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, saw some stuff that you'd like to pick up for yourself, and hope you had a good time, because I sure as hell did. But guys, that's it for me today. Hope you liked. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below if you got time. And yeah, I always love hearing from you guys. Even if I don't respond, love hearing from you. So keep it up. But yeah, take care and stay out of trouble. Hopefully 2021 is your year. But guys, take care.